So what do you think? Do you think we're going to see accountability for the people who launched a criminal investigation into Donald Trump for the sole reason that they didn't like him and they wanted to take him down? I'm talking about Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Andrew McCabe, possibly Jim Comey.
Possibly Jim Comey. I put the first three in the evidence is clear. But we still have to presume them innocent.
Devin Nunes has sent criminal referrals to the AG.
I'd put Comey in the it has to be looked at category. And I'd put Hillary, Brennan, Clapper, who were running around with the Steele dossier trying to sell it. If you read the Steele dossier, you and I'd laugh at it.
Well, I've seen it.
Which demands, therefore, that you verify it. I helped to establish the FISA court in the 1970s. In the Ford administration, I went over their warrants during the Cold War.
Court today.
I went through their warrants for the Cold War. Believe me, and I went through 100 warrants for regular wiretaps.
Do they feel hoodwinked? Do the judges who signed off on a warrant to spy on Carter Page, were they hoodwinked?
I was a law clerk to a federal judge that would be demanding an investigation now because he was misused. His name was put on a document that was not properly obtained by not exploring the Steele dossier. How about the fact they didn't even bother? They're all about Russia. They don't even bother to ask Steele, when was the last time you were in Russia? You know the answer? 7 years ago. How can you write anything knowledgeable about Russia and not have been there for 7 years?
So what do you think? Do you think that we're going to see...
So who were the Russians that fed that information to whom she was indirectly paying?
Do you think we're going to see prosecutions for all of this? And do you think we're going to see Hillary Clinton come down and testify? Do you think William Barr is going to go and get all of these people who are involved in this set up to take down Donald Trump, or is he going to question them?
Well, I can't see how you escape. I'm not going to predict anybody's prosecuted. I will predict everybody gets investigated. Prosecute is a decision that I got to see the evidence first. If you're asking me, is the evidence there to investigate? It compels investigation. There's so much more evidence that it necessitates this investigation compared to the one of him, where all you had was Papadopoulos saying the Russians have some dirty information on Hillary.
Yeah.
Didn't suggest what crime was committed, didn't suggest the Trump campaign was involved, certainly didn't suggest that the candidate was involved, and they didn't go warn him the way they warned Feinstein.
That's right.
After she had a Chinese communist spy on her staff for 20 years.
But look at what the Dems are doing now. They are digging in. Adam Schiff was on the Sunday shows this weekend saying, yeah, maybe we will still indict. Elijah Cummings says, yeah, maybe I'm not there yet, but I might be there soon. They want the president's tax returns. That deadline yesterday, I guess, came and went. They want to investigate him further. They're digging in because they recognize the wrongdoing that was taking place here at the top of the FBI, and they don't want you to go there. They don't want William Barr to go there. They're ripping William Barr, the Attorney General.
They are. There's no. I saw it the first moment they did it. They're ripping the Attorney General because they're hoping they can back him off and deter him from doing a fair and balanced investigation. They figure, he's going to get scared the way they do. I don't think they know Bill Barr. I think the man acquitted himself in a way that I was very proud to see our Attorney General. I work for two great attorneys general.
I mean, what's the shock at the spying? Of course there was spying.
He met or exceeded the highest standards for an Attorney General.
Because he was honest.
Because he was honest. He was straightforward. He described it absolutely correctly. The conclusions in the two sections of the report are absolutely what he said. His analysis of obstruction of justice is the analysis of obstruction that I learned in law school.
Yeah.
And as a practical prosecutor, I wouldn't go near a case where there was no underlying crime and there was very good reason to believe the man was defending himself against false charges, in which you give somebody a little bit more scope, certainly a president of the United States, because a president of the United States doesn't have to just worry about the ultimate whatever happens. He's got to worry about what happens every day to his credibility in office if he lets charges stay out there unrebutted until 2 years later. A president, if you say the president told people to lie and he didn't, he can't sit there with his mouth shut.
Well, if there was no collusion, then what are you obstructing? I mean, the Journal wrote it in an op-ed the other day: obstruction of nothing.
Obstruction in your mind only. I mean, that in their
they've got to dig in. They've got to dig in. But do you think that we are going to have a fair investigation here, so that there's
by the House?
Yeah, no, by William Barr,
I think
Lindsey Graham, the Inspector General.
Well, I'm not part of the decision-making in the White House about executive privilege. I'll give no advice on that. I fight every subpoena they issue for him, for a witness. If I was representing a witness, I'd fight it.
Why?
I would fight it because they're illegitimate. Everybody in this country knows they're prejudiced, they're biased. They're like the judge who decides you're gonna die and then gives you a trial.